Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Friday, November 7th, 2014. The first article that I have for the day is from WashingtonExaminer.com. Justice Department dumps 64,000 pages related to Fast and Furious. This happened right at the same time as the election, presumably so that people would not notice it. Well, we're noticing it, right? And this, along with Benghazi, IRS Gate, so many other issues, must be addressed in order for us to go on and have experience any degree of success as a nation. We can't allow the government to continue to commit crimes. I came across this yesterday. I don't believe I've visited this blog before. There's a lot of esoteric stuff here. One of the things that I noticed was claim Michael Tessarian stuff, that things along those lines. And I saw information from Michael Tessarian that he claims that the origins of civilization are rooted in Ireland. Kind of an interesting claim. And there's a lot of interesting information here. And I'm not even focusing on any of it specifically. I just, as I said, I happened to notice this website, and I thought I would share for those who are getting bored with the level of conspiracy that we see all around us every day. If you're looking for information on history, roots, read with caution, filter everything, as always. But this website appears to be a good source of information. And I was really just kidding about getting bored with the conspiracies that we think about all the time. We absolutely can't. We absolutely can't begin to think of them as ordinary occurrences and accept them without question. As I just shared about the release of the information about Fast and Furious, as all these government crimes come to light and as we understand them better in the context of an overall agenda and an overall plan, evil plan to take over the world, it's crucial that we stay focused. But if you want a little break from that over the weekend, you're curious about things, you can probably have some fun at this website. This is a very sad article, thefederalistpapers.org. 7 things the middle class can no longer afford. It's things like vacations, which is crucial, as I talked about Sabbaths the other day and getting away for rest. Vacations, new vehicles, not really a luxury when you consider how much less money you need to spend on maintenance for a new vehicle. Pay off debt, emergency savings, retirement savings, medical care, and dental work. Some of these items are clearly luxury in nature, but some are definite necessities. It is terrifying the amount of debt, lack of savings for both emergency and retirement, and the most fundamental needs to take care of oneself are just not possible for today's middle class. When will our government wake up? My question is, when will our people wake up? Because when our people wake up, our government will be forced to meet the demands of the people or kill us, which who knows, they may be trying to do right now. But in light of the 7 things that we can no longer afford, in the middle class, and I include myself certainly in that group, I was thinking about the Brad Pitt portion of 12 Monkeys when the Bruce Willis character has been admitted to the mental institution, and Brad Pitt is explaining things to him. And first of all, it is very funny, and I think Bruce Willis probably deserved an Oscar just for not laughing at Brad Pitt. Even though it's a very intense speech, to be in that situation, looking him in the eyes, I can't imagine keeping a straight face. Good job, Bruce Willis. I love this movie anyway. Used to be in my top 20 favorites. I don't know if it is anymore, but it's an excellent movie. And Alex Jones and other people have talked about it recently because of the Ebola scare. But the reason I'm addressing it here and bringing it into this forum is that Brad Pitt, in explaining things to Bruce Willis, tells him that they're not really insane. They're just put away because you have to buy things in order to remain a viable part of society. And if you stop buying things, they will consider you insane and put you away. Well, what are they going to do with us when we can't buy things anymore? The 7 things the middle class can no longer afford. That list is growing all the time and will probably continue to grow. So ultimately, our goal, I think many of us, our goal is to get off the grid and stop buying things. And that is really the only way that we can fully benefit from the fruits of our labors. But you have to have a piece of land, you have to have some seed, you have to have some startup money to get going to become independent, and you have to study and have a lot of knowledge as well to successfully live off the grid. And you have to avoid the people who are calling you crazy and trying to institutionalize you, as we can learn here from Brad Pitt. I have shared this before, but it came on my radar this week. I was talking to somebody about it. And it's such a tremendous source of information. Again, because it's the weekend, if it's rainy or bad weather where you are, you're looking for something to do, something interesting to consider. This timeline just has a tremendous amount of information that you can crunch for yourself and draw your own conclusions. It starts with 10,000 BC. It has to do with health. Here are the topics: asthma, fluoride, foods, frankenfoods, grains, guinea pigs, interesting meat, milk, medicine, disease, soy, sugar, vaccines. And you can, if you just scroll through here, you begin to see the relationships between food, what is consumed, medicine, what we let into our bodies, and disease. Fascinating information. And for the good news of the day, there were some good results in the election. The Republican-Democrat thing, sure, the Republicans got the House. Remains to be seen how good of a thing that is. And a lot of it depends on our response. And if we hold our representatives and senators' feet to the fire and require them to do what's right on behalf of the people. In Mendocino County, they passed a community bill of rights. Specifically, this relates to fracking and water use. But I read something yesterday, which unfortunately I couldn't find this morning, that details how sweeping the implications are of this Measure S. And it is considered the Mendocino County Community Bill of Rights. It just specifically pertains to fracking and water use. And this paragraph: the Community Rights Network of Mendocino County was the group behind this initiative. The San Francisco-based organization Global Exchange, a group that assists communities in passing new laws that place the rights of residents over the interests of corporations, aided in organizing the initiative petition drive and in supporting the campaign for the measure. So overall, it's good. I mean, it's declaring individual rights. It's place the rights of residents over the interests of corporations. This did take me back a little bit. The San Francisco-based organization Global Exchange. I have not had an opportunity to research that. It looks as if it's called Global Exchange. So let's face the possibility that it has to do with Agenda 21, some globalist agenda. But at least on the face of this is good news. This shows that people do desire to have individual rights supersede corporate rights. And that's a very, very broad statement, and I'm not really in favor of all of the implications of that because I am a capitalist. But the way that the evil corporations have been able to infringe upon individual rights and harm people's lifestyles. I mean, even what I read about the 7 things the middle class can no longer afford. Thank you, big corporations, for that. For wanting us to be serfs and trying to, suck all the life out of us and leave us with very little to show, very little that we possess on our own. So, again, this appears to be good news, but it's what's behind it. What agenda was pushing for this? Now, here's one that I don't have as much hesitance about calling good news. Breaking news: Humboldt County, California, voters passed Measure P 60% to 40% to prohibit GMO crop production. And yay! I mean, everybody was all excited about the decision that was made in Maui to ban GMOs. This is huge as well. Humboldt now joins bordering Mendocino and Trinity counties to form a GMO-free zone in Northern California. They're in good company with Jackson and Josephine counties of Southern Oregon, passing GMO crop bans in May of this year. So these counties, I believe, are some of the counties that want to organize together to become the state of Jefferson and leave the states of California and Oregon. Hoping that happens, but this is great news. I'm delighted that there's a GMO ban there. And, the labeling, it's probably far more effective for counties to ban GMOs than it is for states to label them. Although, of course, the labeling spreads the word and more people can become educated. But one reason a lot of the people up in Northern California are very aware of what's going on is the northern part of the California Valley, where it's this huge crop growth area. Farming is huge there, and this of course is not in the valley, but Trinity's at the north end of the valley. They get sprayed with unbelievable amounts of chemtrails up there, Shasta County. And if you've ever watched What in the World Are They Spraying, you've heard, you know that from watching that Shasta County is sprayed unbelievably, and it's undeniable when you see it all the time, and people begin to have difficulty growing some of their organic crops and things of that nature. You begin to ask questions. You see a lot of trees die, and they have experienced that up in parts of Northern California. And leaving with humor for the weekend, humor with meaning, Monty Python, the annoying peasant. The peasants know more about government than the guy who considers himself to be the king, and shut up, you stupid peasant. But my advice to you is, hey, wise, educated, non-peasant, speak out. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you do have a pleasant and peaceful weekend, that you love one another, take care, and insist on liberty and justice for all.